I try to be brief. And first of all, let me emphasize the fact how privileged we are that we are here, that we are alive and come back together after a very, very long time. So everyone is very, very welcome. What I want to do today, first of all, you see, trust those who seek the truth, but doubt those who say that they found it. No real solution for every problem. There is a very nice Norwegian little poem for kids, which is saying that my ecologist friends say that the economy has to be improved and everything will be all right. And my drunk friends said that you just have to be drunk and everything will be all right. And so on and so on. And after 10 or 12 examples, he said, and I have no more friends, so I don't have the solution. So I don't have the solution. I just want to show you some opinions. That's what I talk about. I will talk about the biopsychosocial origin of everything in the human health. So first of all, the biology, One Health and the immune system, and a little bit of psychology, sociology, and in the end, no matter what today's theme is, only the changes, I want to give you some hope, as Roberto before me tried to. So don't go very upset outside. Okay, my favorite author for now, Frederick Backman. So I really suggest you to go to the cinema for free tomorrow to see the Grump by the American version of the man who called Otto, originally Uwe. This is from him. This story is about a lot of things, but mostly about idiots. So it needs saying for the outset that it's always very easy to declare that other people are idiots, but only if you forget how idiotically difficult to be human. So it's very important that you don't forget that people are human all around the world, even the decision makers, especially them. So this is just a cycle that you remember this, that everything connected with everything. And then this is the One Health concept, very briefly. I just want you to go home and look at it and never forget that mental health of the human beings is closely related to the animals, to the environment, to everything. If we didn't go where the bats live in the forest, no pandemics arise. If we didn't go where the forest, the simian viruses, we didn't have the AIDS. So it's very closely related. And people really worrying about the planet. The planet is very much will survive us. Believe me, it's the human civilization we're talking about. So what about the One Health? If you have pollution, we checked out some data about the health of the Swedish adults, young adults. In Stockholm, when the air is very much under the limits of the European societies, and still, if you're in the rich part of the city and you're an adolescent, your lungs are better moving, the capacity is higher, so the pollution is always there. The greens or the lack of them. There will be some pictures you will see. If you look outside and see all that green, it helps you to be alive, it helps you to be happy. The climate catastrophe is here, really here. Heat waves killed 60,000 people last year in Europe only. Think about it. There are invasive species. They're coming in and kill out our own, so biodiversity is going down. You have to think about it. In summer, I just sit out in the garden with my coffee, and the little green something just landed on my coffee, and I just looked at that. Who is it? And I posted it on Facebook and asked the same question. And it came back that this is a bull caboose. I said, what's that? And it's originally from North America. How it got there in Europe to Hungary, I just can't imagine. So the zoonosis is there. The viruses evolve. They are cleverer than us because they have only one purpose and one purpose only. They want to evolve to be better, to survive, to give away all the genetics they have. And we have other problems, not just as the virus that. So we're losers. If we want to fight them all the time, we're the losers. And also the antibiotics and hormones, we gave them to the flowers, we gave them to the animals, and we consume them and just look around and see, oh, in the big cities, the young male population is down on the spermium. And this is because it's everywhere and anywhere. Okay, so what the link? It's the immune system. It's if you're interested, there are a number of papers on psychobiology and also on psychoimmunology. Let's give one example only. There was an experiment by a drug company. They wanted to find a dog. And it was a drug, and they have it on rabbits, the animal part of the study. And the results were a disaster, a total chaos. They didn't understand the placebo and the drug, and it's all around. And I started to investigate. And they realized that the problem is where the rabbit is. Not what the rabbit got, where the rabbit is. And they realized that the lab assistant opens the cage of the lower cages and just talk to the rabbit and just moves it, and it's very nice. But for the upper parts, just give the food with the automatic system, and that's it. So if you want to be a rabbit to be healthier, hug him or her, and it will be all right, pet him. So it's very important, even in the animal scientific experiment, to be aware that immune system and psychology is closely related. For example, about the immune disorders. There is a very nice experiment on mouse. You have this kind of bubble mouse, which means no immune stimulation in childhood, nothing. Just like some kids all around the big cities, sheltered for anything and everything. And you put this bubble mouse to the glass of water, and there is some little place where he or she can rest. The bubble mouse forgets all the time where the place is. So even the cognitive part of the brain is closely related to the immune system. I'm sorry, I got back, but now, so what about the childhood traumas? I just can't stop, because you are parents and grandparents or potential parents, maybe parents, wannabe parents, and want you to treat very, very patiently. There are different kinds of abuses. Seneca told that words need to be sown like seeds. No matter how tiny a seed may be, when it lands in the right sort of ground, it unfolds its strength, and from being minute expands and grows to a massive size. You're responsible what you say to your child. You're capable or you're incapable. You're clever or you're stupid. It will stay with him or her the rest of her life. On the other hand, boats that stay in the harbor are safe, sweetheart, but that's not what boats were built to. Let the child go. Let him or her not be safe, be capable. And the love of some mother is like a rope on the neck of the child. The tiniest move to life, and the knot tightens. Do not over-love him or her. Oops, sorry. I have the same problem. And this is the tide of the neoliberalism. It's Padre Pio, 100 years ago. The root of all evil is I, me, mine. And no such thing as the innocent bystander, because silence rides shotgun wherever hate goes. We live in an anomy. An anomy is a Greek anomos, meaning lawless, a state of social disintegration, the disappearance of all principles, and this weakens social cohesions. We don't care. We don't care for the other people, the other nations. We just don't care. And it's a problem. Oops, sorry. You can see it on the slide. I do not want to go into that, but remember that social effects are really, really determinants. All these are determinants. If you want a homeless patient to behave in the hospital, you're lost, because he's not in that state of mind when he or she can listen to you, because no food, no house, no nothing, you won't listen. If you think about deforestation, you go there and say you're doing bad thing, you just deforest and it's bad thing. I want to eat, for God's sake. They don't care. They don't care because they need something. So deprivation, stigmatization, abuse, it's very, very hard. Let's talk a little bit about beliefs and bubbles. Bachmann again. It is difficult to admit that one is wrong, particularly when one has been wrong for a very long time. Liberal economist friend of mine, I used to say. So back again, information is a power, just like misinformation. And the life circumstances of the patients, you have to be careful. You who volunteer in helplines know very well that one of the callers you just can't reach because there is no common platform for you. And they look at that. Lockdown. This is lockdown also. And this is lockdown also. You from the window. But now, for a minute, just remember the worst part of your city and think about looking out from there all the time for a month and think about it. Wow. So, and back to the Facebook and cyberbullying, again from Bachmann. The truth, of course, is that if people really were as happy as they look on the internet, they wouldn't spend so much damn time on the internet, because no one who's having a really good day spends half of it taking pictures of themselves. But sorry to say that Facebook and Instagram and TikTok made some people think that people who put that post there are really happy. No, they had the time to put the pictures there. I was happy, and the end of the week, on my birthday, still no pictures. I had no time. And what is freedom? Freedom, on one hand, is not that you can do what you can do, but you don't have to do what you don't want to do. This is freedom. Not for someone else, freedom's cottage. So freedom is what you do with what has been done to you. So what about the pandemic? Heard a lot about it, I totally agree. It was a crisis, but also it was a possibility. There are close relationships, that's one I have to emphasize. As a volunteer, you meet a lot of people having mental problems, let's say, nicely, mental problems. You remember that depression and anxiety treated is a healthy manner of life. When we did know nothing, absolutely nothing how to treat the virus, we had no vaccination, we gave people drugs against anxiety, and this was the most effective way to prevent hospitalization and death of the patients. Because they didn't go to the chronic stress circles, which is against the immune system, who had a lot of things to do at the same time fighting the virus. So it is very important. A lot of mental health issues arise, but two things I have to emphasize. Social support and connection had a positive action. These are now in let's say, leading scientific papers. And also satisfaction with life. So people around here, when you go home, you think about your life and you go for satisfaction, because it's good for your immune system, and then it's good for your whole mental health. Just like this, loneliness. It was a very, very strong killer. Remember from Udine, who was there, that it was about loneliness, and loneliness really a killer. And it's like starvation. You don't realize how hungry you are until you begin to eat. I'm just happy to be here after the pandemic. So what to do? Climate change, you curb it. Remember the One Health. There are psychosocial intervention, safety, education, prevention, lifestyle, and here we are, listen to the other people, not just about yourself. And this is, I'm sorry to say, that is totally a nowadays problem. Hate can be a deeply stimulating emotion. The word becomes easier to understand and much less terrifying if you divide everything and everyone into friends and enemies, we and they, good and evil. The easiest way to unite a group isn't through love, because love is hard, it makes demands. Hate is simple. I'm sorry to say that we see it now in Gaza, that hate is simple. So what do? My take-home message is this, from Juxley: in the world where you can be anything, be kind. Thank you for your attention.